Are New Year's resolutions themselves a good thing to have, or is there danger within those? Lewis, what do you think about New Year's resolutions?
I think they're a good thing. I think, there are tons and tons of people who have made New Year's resolutions and kept them and had amazing results. There's someone who comes to our facility who's lost 100 pounds, and his first step was a New Year's resolution that he wanted to lose 20 pounds in the first year. And he exceeded that, and a whole bunch of things changed. He had food allergies that changed. He felt better, less joint pain, less muscle pain, all kinds of things changed. So it all stemmed from that first decision to make a change, a positive change in someone's life. So I think that if it's something that you really want to do, it's something that is important to you, it's a good time to do it. Why not? Why not try and make your life and make yourself feel better?
Mm-hmm. Lowell, how do you feel about New Year's resolutions?
I'll take the opposite side of the coin. I think it becomes a bit of an excuse to make at least lip service yourself, the fact that you're going to do a whole bunch of different things in life. And there's risk to that, in that it can be overwhelming and there's too much, and people aren't really setting goals that are realistic over either a short term or a long term. I'm all for goal setting, and I think that's an important aspect of life in general. And it's an ongoing process in life, not just at January 1st, but it might be January 15th, it might be February 1st, it might be February 15th, and it's an ongoing evolution, and that's how we become better at what we do, no matter what it is, whether it be in fitness, whether it be healthy eating, whether it be being a better partner or being a better parent. By constantly evaluating your current status and choosing bite-sized pieces to be able to improve upon, that's how we get better. So although I think it's probably a good goal-setting time, it may not be. I think it might be misconstrued in making this big long list of 25 resolutions that's basically thrown out the door 7 days later.
Why is it important that, especially right now, with what we see in the news, and we see how indebted Canadians are, why is it important to us that we start saving more, no matter what our age is? Why is that important? Because we're so short term. Mm-hmm. I'll save later.
Yep.
That's something that I'll do in my 30s,
yep.
and my 40s, and my 50s, and then I'm retiring.
Yeah.
So why is it important for us to start really looking at saving?
Well, the interesting thing is that the sooner you start, the less you have to save to make that same goal. So in our 20s, we're like, oh, retirement, I'll do that in my 30s. And we get to our 30s and say, well, I'll do that in my 40s. And you just keep pushing it back and pushing it back to the point that now I have to save $5,000, $6,000 every month. Whereas if I would have started in my 20s, maybe that was $100 a month. And so it compounds the problem. And what happens too often is that then that money's not there. I don't have $1,000 every month that I can put towards my retirement or whatever it needs to be. And so you compromise your choices in retirement. Suddenly, well, I can't take that trip to Europe because I have no money, or have to keep working because I can't afford to retire, which is what happens usually.
Wow. So I thought what we do is we talk about the different scenarios for our different viewers, and mm-hmm. and for our younger viewers, or the parents of the younger ones, for those in their late teens, early 20s, whether going to school or thinking about going to school, mm-hmm. what are some of the things that they can do in January that will help set them up for success for the year?
Well, it's interesting. I was watching the last segment and I was like, yes, yes, yes. Everything that Lowell was saying, especially about SMART goals, having a plan. It's interesting that whether it's your health or your nutrition or your finances or your education, whatever walks of life, these are the same strategies no matter what. So it's interesting, like having a goal, setting a plan, like all of those same strategies apply with your finances as well. So I would say the most important thing when you're young is to start good habits, because they become habits. And when you're used to setting some money aside from every paycheck, then that's not a new thing. And when you start making more, you set more aside. It's something that you've become really accustomed to, and so it's not hard to do. If you've never done that before, if you always, from the time that you have your first job, you get your paycheck and you're like, yes, and you go spend it all on whatever it is, there's nothing left. You haven't built that idea of saving into your framework. And so then when you get later in life and you need to do that, it's a lot harder because you're not used to doing that. You're used to spending it all. So developing those habits early makes it a lot easier later on.